Hi, and welcome back to the HusVar Podcast. And we are here with episode 2 and good friend of mine, Ryan Stang.
Let's do it, baby.
When I was going through in my list of people that I really wanted to talk to, Ryan, your story is just matched. And I know that everybody that's going to be listening today is going to take away so many keys. And those of you that know me, keys are really what I do. If you can anchor it into your memory, that's when it really happens. And hang out to the end because Ryan is going to give some amazing information about building connections. So, speaking of connections, Ryan Stang of Stang Insurance Company here. We also, similar to our first guest, Big Jim Stapleton,
Big Jim.
We met back at the Combined Insurance Days. And really, what is it that you have brought all the way to starting your own insurance company? What's some lessons you learned there?
Combined wasn't exactly the most conventional insurance out there. It taught us so many things, and we were just kids. I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do then. At the time, I was filling dumpsters for my father's construction company, and I got a phone call from my buddy, "Hey, you want to sell insurance?" And I'm like,
"Yeah,
all right." And next thing you know, every morning at 8 a.m., we're standing in a conference room, clapping and jumping up and down with each other like idiots. And I'm like, I don't know if this is for me right now, but it taught us a lot of hard lessons on how to sell things because, we were walking door to door. We were being forced to communicate with strangers on a level that no one really probably ever does anymore. If we didn't get that check on the spot at that person's dinner table who we just met, we were probably not going to sell that person, and then we weren't going to get paid. So
we're the one call closes for sure.
Oh my God, remember that we had to read out of a book? There's people "Why are you reading to us right now, trying to sell me an accident policy for $15 a month?" Well, this is what I was told I had to do. But everybody's got to have their start somewhere. And that was just the beginning of my journey as far as insurance. And they told us at sales school, you aren't even going to start making money in this industry for 10 years.
It's so true.
Oh, sure as shit, were they right.
Because, you got the experience better than anybody, right?
I'm still doing it, and, believe it or not, it's still not the easiest thing to make money. So,
right.
But you got to serve your time, and you got to pay your dues to get to where you need to be. And I just stuck with the course and just
kept doing it.
grind.
So, looking back way then, yes, we were kids, but how have your goals just completely changed to, now you're running your own insurance company and the circles that you're in are pretty different.
Well, as we just stated, we were kids then.
Yeah.
And growing up, especially around that time, a little bit about me is I've never been a big money motivation type of guy. Money and the almighty dollar is not something that drives me. It's always been the relationship at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And back then, Combined was more of a tool to, like a gateway to get to somewhere else.
Yeah.
And it really just taught me the ins and outs about value and, staying on the gas pedal no matter what. And, walking through the hood, knocking on doors. It's not like everybody does that.
Right.
We were doing that stuff.
Well, who would actually answer doors today?
Probably not. They'd probably come up and you'd have to fear for your life, and they'd have a gun at your face or something.
Yeah, seriously, anywhere. Yeah.
And I could still do it. I still got confidence.
So I still do knock on doors.
Yeah.
I invite people to open houses, and it's a little bit different. Hey, we're throwing a party. Would you like to come to it?
Nowadays, it's somebody in politics, somebody from the church, or somebody that is trying to sell you pest control.
Yeah.
At least in my neighborhood. I'm come on, man. But anyway, to go back to what I was saying, the money motivation was never there for me. It was always just building relationships. And at that point in my life, pre-family, I was already in the social scene. I was already a big believer in hosting events to bring people together and just, to connect people on high levels. Yeah. And so that was where I was at then. And really I was trying to build my own personal brand throughout my 20s and 30s by doing just really cool out-of-the-box things that no one else is doing. Yes, I know we'll probably get into the charity side of it, but I was always a big believer in giving to get and just making things happen on a high level for others who need it more. and then, just the belief that it'll come back around someday. So that was always my motivation then. Now, I mean, when you get into the family stuff and all of a sudden you have different reasons for being successful, like, well, that's when things took a shift for me.
Well, I'm sure you really want to give them the best life you possibly can.
3 girls, dude. I'm a girl dad. 12, 6, and about to be 5 this week. And I got a wife at home. There's a lot of feminine type of financial responsibility there.
Yeah. Well, and for such a masculine kind of guy, I mean, going from sports, and I mean, I know sports, competition is your thing.
Yes. I'm more so competition with myself than anything.
Yeah.
It's not even really like I could care less. Not care less, but like obviously I want to beat people. Yeah. But like for me, it's like I'm never content, so I'm always trying to just one up myself at the end of the day. And I know, and that's why evolving is my thing. It's like even if I have the best event or I make the best sale or I do something really cool that no one else can do, I'm never content with that. Like I need to be better.
Right.
Always be better.
Well, I mean, that's what they've said in every book a different way. Like, the person that you should be competing against is yourself yesterday.
And you read a lot of books. I don't. So.
I do. I
try to listen, and then I phase out about, chapter 6 due to my ADHD. And then, got a lot of books and audio that haven't been completed. But I'll take your word for it.
You know what? I'm glad you brought that up. Like, so many people think that, like, ADD, ADHD, like, these are, like, bad things. Yeah. But I mean, like, that could be our superpower.
And ADHD is one of those things, like, not that I've done my research, because I know I have it. I mean, I'm like...
You haven't read any books. How would you know?
The shining definition of what ADHD is in life. In the hyper part, too. Believe it or not, I got a lot of energy. You might be able to figure that out.
Yeah.
But, so, ADHD, though, when you check all the boxes... I've sort of learned to utilize it as a good thing because it just keeps me going. And a lot of people will use it as an excuse.
It's a crutch.
Back in school when I didn't know I had it, like, my mom never wanted to believe in that. Love you, Mom, but she never wanted to believe it. But I was, like, looking at the teacher, but I was playing a basketball game while watching her. Like, yeah, I hear you. But in my head, I'm somewhere else.
Anything else.
And it really did hurt me in school. But... I believe ADHD, like you said, it's a superpower in the real world that you could really utilize to your advantage if you want to.
As long as you dial it in.
Yes.
I mean, I've obviously went down the personal development path. I've read all the books, which, the best way for me to learn is through audio.
Yeah.
Hence the reason I start a podcast.
Damn straight, baby. Let's go.
Because I know that the best way I receive the information is to be fully immersed. Reading a book, like, it's great and all, but 20 minutes later, I'm done with it. But, a life in sales, you spend some time in your car.
Yeah.
And I found myself...
A lot of time to combine.
Ton of time.
My blue Tiburon back in the day.
Yeah. Oh, my God. I forgot about that thing.
Remember that thing?
Yeah.
It was badass.
Oh, man. But, yeah, I mean, it was, I have the time in the car, and I could either listen to the same song, or I can turn on a great podcast, or I can listen to a great audiobook. And, the biggest thing that I say is, what are the keys? What are the 1-2 things that you can take out of this to really go? And, I mean, the 1-2 things that I've learned from you is these events. So, like, when did it click? Like, when did you first say, like, you know what? This is for me.
My house party in high school where my mom came home and,
Typical degenerate, right?
Oh, yeah, believe it or not, I was throwing house parties in high school. And,
yeah.
And it really got me my start to really, like, just entertaining. Right. At a high level. And rather than most people, stopping that mentality, I continued it on a super high level.
Yeah.
I started with my Christmas party that I did for like 22 years straight. Last year was the first year that I didn't do it in 22 years just because I needed a little bit of a reset. 22 years is a lot of years.
Well, and you threw a pretty much bigger party, which we'll get to in a little bit.
And then I branched off to, sports. Like you said, I'm a big competitor, and I always wanted to, like, even though basketball was my sport, you can't get everybody involved in basketball because the highest level of basketball will demolish the lowest level, and it's really hard to have divisions and things like that. And I went to a volleyball tournament when I was younger with a friend from Combined, and I'm like, I could do this way better than they're doing it now because I happen to know a huge volleyball community in Western New York, and I ended up, forming this crazy charity event that I ultimately did for Jim Kelly and the Kelly for Kids Foundation, where I would host this volleyball tournament called Buffalo Spikes for Tykes every summer down at Woodlawn. We started at the dock at the Bay, then went over to Woodlawn, and
I sponsored it. I remember.
Yeah, and you played, right?
Yeah.
But I was able to have every rec division all the way to the experience division. Then I even had a bar versus bar division to let my homies in the clubs battle it out.
Yeah.
You know,
took it out. Yeah.
It was literally the hottest event of the summer every year, and it was like a full-time job.
Right.
You know, but ultimately, I mean, I ended up raising probably $250,000 for the Kelly for Kids Foundation.
Wow.
Just by throwing a super cool party at that time. And what I didn't know that I was doing, because at this point I was working at Mass Mutual, which is a little part of my insurance journey, I was building my brand up for a future endeavor, which is where I'm at now. So I already had the credibility of a lot of people by doing some really fun stuff, throwing these parties, throwing this event, raising a ton of money for charity. I mean, there were years, I swear to you, and this is no joke, I was raising more money for charity than I was actually making physically for my own pocket.
Yeah,
and
it's wild.
It's part of the story, though. Like I believed in that stuff. It's like you got to give the get, and you know, karma's real. It's gonna come back around, and that's just sort of what set me up to where I am today.
It's so funny how many parallels that I'm finding, like from talking to people, and I mean, we have amazing networks, right?
Yeah.
And we're blessed to have these people in our lives. But like Jim and I were saying, like, like so many people, like, because I've had hundreds of realtors that I've trained throughout the years. And they think, like, what's the shortcut? Like, how do you get there? Like, what's this? But I mean, you even said, you're like, I gave more than I received.
Yeah.
Like, that's really something that people should anchor in. Like, how many years was it before you were like, you know what? Whew, this thing's finally working.
Yeah. A lot of years, you know. And that's why it's really hard for me to almost describe it, because I have this world where I'm this event planner. And there are people out there probably in this city right now that think I'm an event planner, and they don't even know I own an insurance company. Right. Oh, because of the high level that I've done these things. Yeah. And then I have the insurance side, and then which obviously is what keeps me afloat and keeps me going. Yeah. It is what will get me to the next level, and I believe in it. But if I didn't have this other side, my insurance side probably wouldn't exist. So you need both of them to really survive and to get me and get my family and the people that I care about to the place that I know they should be. Yeah. You know?
So you know what, since we're on the topic, I mean, I see a wall of trophies here. Like, what does Stang Insurance do? So, to take a step back, life insurance is my niche. And when we were at Combined Insurance, you know, we were told things about life insurance that I had to unlearn, essentially. And it really shaped the whole narrative of where I am today, because even when we were combined, if you might remember this, but they were like, term insurance sucks. Like, you don't need, why would you want to buy term insurance when the person's probably never going to use it and they can outlive it? And I'm like, at the time, it was the first thing I've ever heard about life insurance. I'm like, yeah, you know, these dudes are probably right. Like, I don't know who they are, but they're my bosses, so I should probably believe them. And if there's no cash benefit at the end of it, there's no value to anything.
So that that's how I got my start with life insurance. Yeah. And then I ended up joining Mass Mutual, which is it's a career agency. You're even though you're 1099, you're really an employee, and this is what I had to learn out and find out the hard way. Even though I got to learn under some of the best in the business when it comes to life insurance, I had to find out the hard way that it's one company. And in order for you to hit your numbers and hit your career contract and get your finance and all this stuff that they make out to be great, you have to sell their products and their products only to get there. And it wasn't until I started working with a buddy of mine who played for the Bills at the time, back in 2019. You know, he was our punter. Shout out Colton Schmidt. He showed me Colton. I never forget it, because Colton was the first one to ever show me an index universal life policy, and I didn't know what it was at the time because Mass Mutual didn't sell it. And I went up to my boss and I'm like, Jeff, what is this? And he's like, yeah, he's like, we don't sell this. So, not to see, he didn't say it was bad, but he's like, Mass Mutual won't sell it.
Yeah.
And it really was an eye-opener for me because Colton was taking the best policy. And he didn't have any kids at the time. He didn't have a wife at the time. And in order for me to get Colton as a client, I had to give him the best. So I compared it to Mass Mutual's best policy, which was a 10-pay. And that was what everybody ran with. Pay it up in 10 years, but it's whole life. Yep. The difference is the way that the accumulation grows within. Okay. IULs are S&P related. They're market related with a cap and a floor. Whole life is based on dividends and just a return that is very conservative.
Right.
So in order for me to get Colton, I had to sell this IUL.
Okay.
So I had to learn from a third party down in Jacksonville what the ins and outs were of being independent. And unfortunately, this is the way that I'm wired.
Yep.
Once I see something that I know is the best, and I know that I want to take care of my homies and my network and my people with the best, I couldn't unsee it.
Yep.
So I had to figure out how to be independent. And that's where 2019 comes. I leave Mass Mutual. I step outside the box. I join this group. I write this monster policy right away. And it's funny that, they always say, right, like nothing ever comes easy. Like there's nothing that was going to teach me how to be truly independent because no one in Buffalo does it this way. Everybody else who's independent life insurance in Buffalo either also sells property and casualty or also manages money. There's no one that just is standalone a life insurance company, which is what I am. Wow. But when I first left, I had to get burned quite a few times in order to get where I'm at today.
Right.
And that first policy that I wrote, it was a monster. And I happened to replace it from Mass Mutual. Even though I didn't know the guy while I was there, it came up to me. Actually, it was a weird time in my life. I was running for Erie County legislator, which is mind-blowing that I did that. But I remember...
It's almost like you read my cheat sheet.
Hey, don't be dropping that out on me, catching me by surprise over here. But I did... I remember meeting this guy at a political meeting.
Yep.
And that's how I found out about the doc, and I won't say his name, but I ended up replacing this Mass Mutual policy and writing this crazy premium finance IUL. And I didn't even know what any of this stuff was at the time, but I trusted these dudes.
Fake it till you make it, right?
I trusted these dudes to do the right thing and everything. But what happens and I made the most money on one policy that I've ever made in my life. I won't say the number, but it was a big number. And just immediately overnight, though, issues started to come with making more money. It's like Mass Mutual ends up finding out, and what do you think they do? You think they're happy about a kid like me? When I was there, they never really showed any attention to
going against
writing a massive and now I'm starting to go against the establishment a little bit. And Mass Mutual runs this town. Right. So what do you think they're going to do? I won't get into detail, but they weren't very happy, and they came after, even though I didn't do anything wrong, because I was literally doing what was right for this guy who was asking me to help him. And no one else was. I still got taken to school for that. And then what happens after that? As soon as I'm free and independent, COVID, boom, 2020. Oh, damn, dude. Now I'm
time to start it
from
all over
2020 to 2024, I would say.
Yeah.
Was straight up survive in advance.
Right.
Survive in advance. Just keep my head above water long enough. Get through all the noise to get to where I needed to be today. And that's what I did, essentially. It was just really just keep on grinding. I wasn't making money like I knew I should have been. Right. Because once again, who's teaching me how to do anything?
You're going against the
grain. I had to learn everything on my own. And it's got its ups and downs, but I don't regret my road. Right. Because I did have to go through so much. I could write a book, dude, with the details of everything I just said. I could write a book on the ups and downs roller coaster ride that I had to go through to get here. But I got here, and I'm still not content. But I'm at the place now where I'm independent completely. I work with incredible brokers. I have an incredible assistant. I have a team behind me. They're not in Buffalo. They're actually all around the country is my team, but they're my back office. I could take the most advanced situation of life insurance from a ultra high net worth individual to a celebrity to a professional athlete, all the way to guys like us, blue collar folk who just need a simple policy. I can do everything, and I can do it the absolute best compared to anyone else, because I'm not tied to anyone, and I don't have anyone forcing me to go with one company or another. It's kind of a cool thing.
Well, I mean, the cool thing, and I'm sure it's the reason we've been friends for so long, is, I had a similar story.
Yeah.
Like, I had no idea what I was doing when I opened a brokerage.
Mm-hmm.
I remember when I closed the first deal, I said, I took escrow money. What do I do with this? And I had to just call other brokers and figure it out. I mean, we were, AI didn't exist even close to then. But I mean, we were literally doing commission statements for agents,
I remember,
on a notepad.
I remember, Joel, you're doing real estate now? Wait.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, all right.
But I mean, that's that entrepreneur spirit. And
Yeah.
I mean, similar to you, I learned a few business life lessons throughout the way. And, I, again, similar to your story, I ended up pairing up with the XP Realty.
Yeah.
And now we are bringing global trainings and software and tools and systems to enhance the system.
Innovating all day long.
And just keep going. But again, a virtual brokerage isn't really a thing in Buffalo.
No.
And for all of us that know the city well enough, Buffalo's a unique place.
It's very unique, and I love Buffalo passionately. I mean, everybody who knows me knows, I try to get this place to another level.
Yeah.
And with the insurance, I know it's my industry and I'm biased, but it's an example that I wish everybody would use for every realm of whatever industry they're in. Mass Mutual and these other companies who have run this city for everybody's lifetime.
Right.
It's all anybody ever knows.
It's true.
So it's all anybody's ever seen. Where I'm looking at this from a whole different perspective, because I'm working with people outside the walls of Buffalo, and I'm seeing it, how it's done in other areas, and I'm like, it's being done so much better all over the place. And I'm no crack on Mass. They're a great company. Yeah. I still write them to the day. However, I do believe that everybody should have every option.
So true.
And they just don't here. And I know that it's a lot of other industries that experience the same issue. And Buffalo, because it's so just loyal and it's small, and it's sometimes they just can't get out of their own way, I think, because they're just stuck in their ways.
Yeah, so true.
We're a drinking city with the Bills.
With a sports problem.
Don't get me wrong, I use that shit to my advantage, dude. Nobody uses it quite like I do. I use drinking and the Bills in almost every aspect of what I do in life, because that's who we are, and I'm not afraid to say it. Right? If I go out of town, what do you think people are asking about? They're asking about the Bills.
Yeah.
And that's why I invest so much of myself into that team. Not just buying tickets and just saying, okay, I'm just going to go to these games to support them. Hell no. I look at the Bills are good for business, because we are the Bills. We're the fan base that is changing economies in other cities because we travel so well. We are the...
Well, and the donations that we make whenever anything happens.
Look what Josh does. I mean, just by being Josh Allen, that dude has raised millions of dollars through a fan base that loves this guy unconditionally. All because, RIP to his grandma, but his grandma died one day, and they created a foundation after her. And since then has raised...
They're building wings on hospitals.
I don't even know what the number is, but it might even be tens of millions at this point, what they've raised, because I know they're raising millions a year. So I got to imagine it's a big number for what they do for those kids in that hospital.
The thing that I love most about our city is it's not always the monstrous donations. Where we
$17.
$17 is exactly what I was getting with it.
Yeah.
Those little things just show the heart of our city.
Yeah.
And I also, like I said before, I'm getting access to that global reach that I just never had, because it's not the way we're taught. We're not the New York City, the Los Angeles of the world where we see it. But I now have friends shout out to my friend Dylan in Hawaii. He just crossed 1,000 transactions with his team this year.
Shit, dude. It's impressive.
And like success leaves crumbs. And the thing that I love most about Dylan is he's just like, dude, here's the open book. No matter what you need, I got you. You want some workflows, you want some scripts, do you want some anything? Like the real secret to living is giving. And I mean, you built a career on that.
Hell yeah.
So let's talk about, what have you done with some of these charitable events? I mean, I know that like when I was the board president of the Board of Realtors, you were my first call.
Yeah.
Because it was like, what is a charity that's going to make an impact where really the money's staying in our city? And you instantly said, here, call my buddy Eric.
Yep. And it goes back to my experiences with the Kelly for Kids Foundation.
Yeah.
And even though Jim was a bonus, right? Because he's one of the more popular people here in Buffalo, and he would come to the events, and he's hands-on, and he's come a long way dealing with what he's dealt with, with his health issues and so many different things. And he would come out every year, and I was like family to him after all was said and done. But it wasn't because of Jim that I used the Kelly for Kids Foundation. It was because of what their mission was, and they were a foundation that supported Western New York kids, disabled and disadvantaged. So with that money I was raising, I knew that it stayed home, and that 20 or 30 organizations were going to receive a check at Ilio DiPaolo's one day because of the money that we raised. So it was just, I really believe in just supporting that Western New York community.
Yeah.
When I introduced Eric Wood to you, who you ended up using the Evan Wood Fund for yours, once again, it wasn't because of Eric. Eric is just a great human being who has an incredible foundation that he dedicates in his brother's memory.
Yeah.
But that money goes to Children's Hospital.
Yeah.
And I knew that the money you would raise, which I think you said it was like $25,000, right?
Yeah.
That money
Realtors really showed up.
Stayed here in Western New York and went right down the street to the Children's Hospital. So those are just some of the things. I've donated to so many different things. Like I do believe in the breast cancer stuff too, the American Cancer Society. I was like top guy in town 4 years in a row, I think, with the Real Men Wear Pink, where I had to wear pink every day.
I remember
And I raised just under $250,000 for that too.
Wow.
And yes, I know American Cancer Society is a national organization, but 81% of that money does go back to the actual cause. Whereas a lot of these national organizations, that number isn't quite as high.
Well, and unfortunately, cancer is really prevalent in Western New York.
It's just affected so many people that I know. I mean, my grandmother passed from breast cancer when I was young, and really affected my mom and my family. And it's just a horrible disease that I could throw a lot of F-bombs out about that. But and that's why I continue to support them. So at the end of the day, most missions that I do support are near and dear.
Yeah.
I just believe in them, and I wear it on my sleeve.
Well, and I mean, that is another thing that I respect the most about you is when you do these events, you pick a family, you pick a cause. Like, it's like, and here's the people that the money's going to.
Every Christmas party, I would raise like $5,000 or something for it'd typically be like an individual or something.
Yeah.
But that $5,000 is a big deal to that family.
Cover some medical expenses or
that,
mortgage,
and that's the way I look at it.
Yep.
I have, and then I roll with a lot of people who do the same thing. Shout out to my boy Mike Vaccaro, who I'm going to see right after this. Actually, he gives tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars away in his father's name to individuals who really need it around the holidays.
It's so funny you just brought up Mike, because when I did my other event where it was agents helping agents, and we just wanted to collaborate, I picked up the phone and I said, Ryan, we need another local cause. Like, who can we help?
And these are the people. That's why we stick together and we do it right, because he's another one who believes in that stuff. It's like give to get,
Yeah, and the exact family that we helped from that event, the grandmother was able to be there and tell the story and really just help the cause. And
absolutely, I love it.
It really is the secret to living is giving.
No doubt.
So you've built this network. You have these connections. I know that you just put on an amazing charity event last year. Let's talk about the golf a little bit.
Yeah. No, I'm very excited about this year, round 2. It's called the Stang Legends Classic. And I say legend. I've always had this vision to do a golf tournament similar to the way that Jim Kelly does his, which not a lot of people get to experience. That was one of my fringe benefits for giving so much to Jim when I was actually doing Spikes for Tykes, that he would give me a foursome in that tournament.
Oh, cool.
Which, as a kid, like, I'm not even going to say the cost of what this thing is, but there's no way I could have ever afforded it.
You donate hundreds of thousands of dollars for a cause.
So, yeah, they hooked the brother up a little bit, you know? Yeah. And so I always wanted to take that experience, because his tournament, and then I've eventually been to a bunch more of them, because I shook a lot of cool hands and went to other people's celebrity tournaments as well. But it's a party on a golf course. And obviously, back to the theme of me being pretty good at throwing parties, I wanted to bring that experience to my own tournament. But I wanted to throw a little bit of a kicker involved in it too. Right. Because if I was going to be bringing in some of my own celebrity buddies who don't come to Buffalo very often, what's the other thing that I said was good for business? The Buffalo Bills.
Yes, sir.
So I have to wait for the schedule to come out to pair the weekend and make it an entire weekend experience of the Stang Legends Classic and pair it next to a home Bills game. So last year was my first year. The charity that we did last year was Trusted Gives, which is a really just cool foundation that they do this 716 Community Day over in MLK Park every year. They partner with Deion Dawkins, and they raise tons of resources. They raise tons of money for that community that was really affected by the top shooting. Right. And it just goes so far that these people need that help. They need these resources, and that's what Trusted Gives does. Last year we raised $20,000 for them. Wow. And don't get me wrong, like $20,000 to me is not a huge number, but it was an accomplishment because it was my first year, and we had such an insane amount of overhead that I did not expect. It's trial and error during year one.
I mean, I've hosted enough events. It takes...
I mean, my overhead, the number would blow you out of the water, right? So raising 20 was still a really good thing last year, but it was trial and error. Last year, I had to wait for a game to come out. We ended up having the tournament at Clover Bank on Monday, and the game was on Sunday. And I had like a 3-part event. I had the game, which I had a tailgate that anybody could come to, because I do host a tailgate every single game.
I've been to it once or twice.
On a very high level. And, I had live entertainment there, auction, all this good stuff. Then we had the game itself. Then we had the after party at Ilio's. And then the next day was the golf tournament. So that was like, it was a lot.
It was a weekend event.
Complete shit show, right? Yep. But we made it through. We raised the money. I got the feedback I needed to hear to do it again. The people who golfed in it said it was the most fun tournament they've ever played in. Wow. I mean, I had 4 DJs out on that course, right?
Oh, wow.
DJ Drop D, Looney Tunes, like George. These guys, they crushed it. And then I had a heckler hole. I had games. I had restaurants out on the course. I had tons of alcohol. It was what you would, like, people didn't want to leave the course because they were having such a good time.
Can we do 18 more?
Yeah, golf was just an afterthought, right? Like that's how I want it to be, though. I want, like, golf is cool as hell, but I want this to be a party out there.
Well, it's an experience.
Correct.
You have done an amazing job creating those experiences that people can experience.
Yeah, and I like to spice it up. I keep going back to the Bills being good for business, but that's the reason why I do it on a Bills home game weekend. So this year, I had to wait for the schedule to release once again, just to book the course, because you don't know what it could be, a random Thursday, a Sunday night game, and we were gifted with those 3 home games to start the season. We got the Thursday night opener and then back-to-back Sunday 1 p.m.ers. So I had to pick and choose. I'm like, man, all right. So I chose the October 4th Patriots game for this year's event.
Okay.
But I'm spicing it up, as I always do.
No way.
Like I said, I always want to evolve. And the one thing that pissed me off last year was, we get after it at these Bills games, so it's not the easiest thing to have an event on a Monday.
Oh,
Therefore,
to keep going.
I made an arrangement with Clover Bank, my home club,
to
have them allow me to do it on Saturday. So I'm doing my golf tournament.
You're closing the course on a Saturday.
Damn straight. And
that sounds about the Stang way.
I mean, no offense to me in country clubs. We're not going to get into that conversation.
Right, yeah.
But I'm wearing a white t-shirt today, not a black one, which is, well, we don't need to get into that. But I wanted to have the tourney on Saturday because that will allow us the go all-in mode during the day. And then Saturday night is going to be its own event.
Wow.
Right there at the course that people are going to be able to come to, and they're going to be able to meet and greet with the who's who are in attendance this year. I'm not going to drop any of the cool celebrity names that I have coming yet now, but
check the website for future details.
That will come. And then we're going to have the auction, everything like that, and then it's going to be a separate fundraiser for this year's event. And then obviously the next day is Bills versus Patriots, which arguably could be the game of the year.
Right. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, in the new stadium too.
Well, and I'm kind of going to put you on the spot here, but little birdie told me that there's some other big charitable events on your horizon this year.
Yeah, I guess it's a good time to drop the news. I haven't released it publicly yet, but
so I'll do it.
Joel, thanks, dude. Really giving me an option right now, but as I mentioned earlier, the American Cancer Society has always been pretty near and dear due to my grandma passing and just all the people who deal with the horrible aspect of cancer. I was asked by the American Cancer Society folk to be the inaugural chair, meaning the face of this event for the Making Strides Breast Cancer Walk, which is on October 17th this year. And obviously it was a tough, call because I'm like, man, sounds like a big deal. This is a 10,000 person walk.
Wow.
And I'm like, all right, add one more thing to the
go all in, right?
The plate that seems to be already full. Mm-hmm. Like, could I do it? So I really, I didn't give him an answer right away. I'm like, I got to figure this out.
Right.
I got to be able to.
You got to soak it
make
in.
This make sense. And that's when I'm like, you know what? The golf tournament's October 3rd. The event's October 17th. The entire month is Breast Cancer Awareness Month in general. I'm like, why not do the golf tournament to benefit the same cause that I'm walking in?
Oh, wow. How cool is that?
Yeah. So that's where I'm at. I am going to accept the role as the chair of this crazy walk that they have on October 17th.
Wow.
But I get the opportunity now to take what I've already established and built with Stang Legends Classic, have that be the beneficiary, or have the cause. American Cancer Society be the beneficiary of the golf tournament, and just make it into an all-out month-long campaign with anybody who wants to get involved, either individually or business-wise, to support the cause. And what I mean by that is when I was doing Real Men Wear Pink, I get with it. I'm hands-on.
Oh boy, are you?
I'm not afraid to create campaigns and work with business owners on creating campaigns for their individual companies. It's not just a sponsorship for a golf tournament where you're setting up a tent and getting some cool marketing.
No, it's true network connection.
It's not just putting a tent at the walk, even though that's cool and you have that opportunity, but it's let's get your employees involved in the cause. Let's get your business, let's get your clients involved and let them know that you take this serious too. So I'm going to be going out to businesses who want to support in my little pink suit that our boy created for me. And
I love our custom suits.
Hell yeah, I'll take pictures with their employees. We'll blast them all over social media. And you know what? Once again, that stuff is the way it should be. Your company should be looking to give if you really do want to get. And what a better opportunity to do, and especially using the help of my platform, your platform, to be able to push out, that your company is supporting the fight against breast cancer.
Well,
I'm just giving you the layup here. That's all.
No, I mean,
you might have to just stroke a little bit of a check. That's all.
Yeah, I mean, that's how it works, apparently, right?
Damn right.
But it's I graciously will do it because I know that if you're investing in it, you vetted it, you put the time in, you put the energy in, and I know that it's a great cause. So, I mean, majority of the things that happen, like, I'm, yes, oh, wait, what is it? Like, that's just how we do it.
Yep.
Because that's, it's how our network works. Like,
No
and true friends, like, you know, we support each other. And whenever I need something,
relationships are everything.
I mean, this podcast as an example, he goes, all right, great, when are we shooting it?
I don't got to think twice. Come on.
Yeah, I mean,
I haven't got to where I'm at by thinking much. I just continue to go. All right, I messed up.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Well,
no other choice.
Fell forward.
No doubt.
Like, that's what we got to do. So, I mean, I guess last question, and then, you know, I'm sure we're going to probably talk for another 20 minutes here.
Yeah.
But if somebody was tuning into this and somebody was just getting into business and they want to try to, like, get connections, like, if you could do it all over again, what's one step you would take to simplify it, maybe?
You know, simplifying it in nothing about what I do is simple. So and that's actually a really tough.
Well, the answer might be work your ass off.
Well, it's a tough question for me because I've failed so many times at so many different things. I could probably give you hundreds and hundreds of different things that I should, you know. But at the end of the day, I mean, I wear everything I do on my sleeve, whether it's I did something good or I did something
You
bad.
are unapologetically Ryan Stang.
I do apologize a lot because I do care about something. That's why I call Pat Sheridan when I do apologize. Shout out Pat Sheridan. And like he brings me back. He's like, look yourself in the mirror. Remember who you are. Remember what you do for others.
Wow.
Like that's Pat Sheridan to me every time.
Yeah.
I have an issue that I'm overthinking. And so would I change something? I mean, there's so many things I would change at the end of the day, but I wouldn't be who I am if I had to go back and try to think about those things.
Yeah.
You know, so my answer to that is I try not to think too much into the past and I should have did this, I should have did that. You know, I just continue to move
change
forward.
it, keep moving. Yeah.
And, you know, I've made too many mistakes and I've spent tens, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars that I've just lit on fire. For making really stupid decisions.
Right.
But I'm probably going to just continue to make those decisions and live and learn from them. And that's what it is. Live and learn and survive in advance and have fun while you're doing it. You know?
It's so true. I mean, like, there is no straight line to success. And anybody that tells you they have one, I don't know, maybe they had a trust fund or something.
Oh, I'm sure they do.
Because I mean, the you know, us, you know, who really like worked it and built it and made it, like, we fell on our face a few times, but like, I mean, resilience is the thing.
And we're just getting started, right?
And I'm
the way I look at
I'm
it.
turning 40 in a few weeks, and it's like, when the hell did that happen? I still feel like I'm 15.
Me too. Like, you feel it at the gym a little bit more. My knees hurt for some reason.
Yeah, you know what the hell fish oil is.
Right.
But I mean, any last thoughts?
You know, no last thoughts. I think I could probably do this for hours, right?
And I know every time I call you, we do talk for an hour.
And you know, that's what's cool. You know, we go back 20 years. Who would have thought we got started at Combined Insurance and where we ended up now? But you know, just final thoughts. You know, your relationships are, and they're what make you, and they're what form you. They always say your network is your net worth.
Yes, sir.
You know I'm not where I want to be financially, but I have the network to get me to where I need to be. So just continue to shake hands. Continue to work outside the box when it comes to getting to where you need to be. Don't be afraid to be different. I mean, I'm different, right? Like, I think we all have established that already, that I'm not the political norm, call it, when it comes to the people who are successful. But that's the way I like it, you know, and sometimes you need to be different to really get to that next level. And I got these 3 little girls back here. I got a wife at home that need daddy to be successful. So they give me my why as far as what I need to do. They give me my drive, and the rest of it is just, you know, have fun and you know, we only live once.
So true.
Damn straight.
Thanks for dialing in. Don't forget to like, comment, and share.
Go Bills.
Go Bills.
Go. Thanks, brother.